So today I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different things that I've been really obsessed with, and really like they do not fall into one category. You know, there is tech, beauty, fashion, food, lifestyle things, television shows, and I think I'm even missing out on something. Hi guys, it's Magali. If it's your first time on my channel, then welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Happy December. I've not been as present here as I would like to lately, just because I was in a little bit of a funk. I don't know if it's the lack of sunlight or whatever in December. I had a rough couple of weeks and we're finally getting out of that right now. So I thought it would be a really nice time to come and sit and talk to y'all. And it's been a while since I did a video like this. See, I would have called it a favorites video. It's basically a favorites video, like my old school favorites. I used to do them monthly. But I've done a lot of other videos that I've called favorites recently. So I was like, how do I convey to you guys that this is elevated favorites, you know? This is obsession level. Like when I'm using the word obsession, again, you think that like I'm exaggerating, but no, these are things that I'm really into, that I don't just use or consume or whatever. I make them like a part of my personality. So obsessions is the perfect word for this. But I think this is kind of like a favorites video in disguise, you know? So everything I'm going to talk about is going to be listed and linked in the description bar below. As usual, regular guys definitely know this, but you know, if it's your first time here, it's just polite of me to inform you. I have quite a lot of things to get through, so I'm gonna try my level best to be as concise as possible. I'm gonna get started with talking about the only real tech thing here, which is my phone. This is the Google Pixel 7 Pro. This phone just continues to blow my mind every single day. It feels incredibly powerful and the camera on this is amazing. I've been a Google Pixel user for many years now. I switched over from iPhones. Feel like I always have to give that background. Just before this I had the Pixel 6a. That is something that's like more affordable. I didn't really know that the 7 range was going to be launching in India, so that's why I bought the 6a. But when I got the 7 Pro, I gave the 6a to my mom. Ever since I got first the 6a and then this, I've just been creating so much more on my phone, which is something I used to rarely do. I always use my camera, and as much as I love this camera, it's heavy and it's cumbersome and it creates gigantic files. Being able to create on my phone has been a game changer. Your phone is always with you, and I really feel like it lets me be a lot more creative because I'm not handling something that's so heavy, and I don't have the restrictions that come with taking a camera everywhere, you know, because it's Mumbai. You can't go everywhere with a big camera. You need permissions or they're just not going to let you in. The zoom is incredible, the wide angle is incredible, cinematic mode, oh my god, so beautiful. You've been thinking of getting the Pixels, you should get a Pixel. People reach out to me in real life and they ask me for phone recommendations, and I always tell them just get a Pixel. I've gotten several friends to buy Pixels after I've recommended them, and not one single person has been sorry. All of the Pixels are really priced wonderfully also compared to their competitors, like based on the quality they're giving you. If you're looking for a budget phone, 6a is great. If you're looking to really get the best out there, then you know 7 Pro is wonderful. 7 is also really good. And the next thing that I want to talk about kind of goes hand in hand with the phone. It's the security software that I've been using lately, and it's by Kaspersky. Generally devices are pretty secure, but a lot of the times we download stuff, we click links without realizing it. It's so important to have an app that is monitoring your devices for malware, that's monitoring your links to make sure that you do not click on any malicious link, that see that the website has a proper security certificate, all of that stuff like that we usually don't give a second thought to, but it's very important. That's why I've been using Kaspersky for the past few months, and I work with them on an ongoing basis because before I started working with them, I tried out their software and I loved it. Kaspersky is the most tested and most awarded internet security company. If you get a Kaspersky Total Security membership, one membership for a year will protect 3 of your devices. So I'm able to use the same membership on my phone and on both of my computers. You'll find a link to Kaspersky's offerings in the description bar below. They're running some really sweet end of the year kind of offers as well. Now I know that security doesn't really excite. It's not fun to have to bother about it or spend on it compared to like buying something cool for yourself, but it's like an investment in the long run. Let's briefly talk about beauty. There are a couple of beauty items, and I guess you could say trends, that I've been really into. The first thing that I have loved using since the last few months are blushes. I don't have just one blush to share with you guys. I have 3, and sometimes I'll use some other ones also. Just because I feel like I've neglected blush so much for all these years, but now blush and I are having a moment, as most of the time I really love putting on very visible blush that you can absolutely see, so I'm not super subtle about it. And I used to worry that that looked clownish before, but now I just don't care because I think it looks really pretty, it looks fresh. So the blush that I'm wearing today is by Daughter Earth. I've made a short video on this already. It is this really beautiful purple blush which looks super intimidating. It's supposed to be color correcting, and most of the time I will stick to warm blushes, so this is a departure for me because it's very cool toned. It looks nice. Cream blush formulas are amazing. Most of my favorite blushes otherwise are cream blushes, but the other 2 that I have to share with you guys are powder blushes. The nicest powder blush formula I have ever used. These are by Benefit. They are new Wanderful blush range, where I think they have several really interesting blushes in this range, including this one called Butterfly, which is a shimmery orange. Oh, really good. I made another short video on this range as well, where I swatched all 4 of these that I have, but the 2 that I use the most are Terra, which is kind of a warm terracotta, and then I also have Moon, which I don't know what you would call this, like a deep garnet oxblood sort of berry. I think a deep berry would be best suited to it. They're both really nice, and I think particularly wonderful for medium to dark skin tones. So they now have a translucent base compared to before, where they might have had a slight tendency to look ashy on darker skin tones, and I can't get enough of these. Terra is like a little bit more natural on me, and then Moon gives me a very like flushed look that I absolutely love. And the next makeup thing that I've been obsessed with is brown lipstick. Wearing brown lipstick today as well, and I think this is something that I've fallen slowly in love with over the course of the entire year without noticing it at first. I really fell in love with brown lipstick when I started using Verified's Latella lipstick. It's so gorgeous. I've actually used up a really good amount of this lipstick. This is a lot for me considering I don't wear makeup that often. This is something that I was just reaching for all of the time. It is really beautiful. Today I'm not wearing Latella though. I treated myself to a high-end lipstick from Shiseido. I believe this is my first Shiseido product. It's their Visionary gel lipstick, which by the way has the most amazing formula because it's very much a stick, but it goes on, it almost feels like liquid. It's so smooth, and then it dries down a little bit, but it's still kind of creamy. I don't think it's a full matte, and that's how I prefer it. So the shade that I have is called Metropolis, which is like this really nice deep brown. And I think if you have like a medium to deep skin tone, brown lipsticks are like a beautiful nude for us. And also when I use the term brown lipstick, I am aware that there's a whole spectrum. Most of us might think of chocolate brown, but there are actually like caramel browns and like a whole thing. I have amassed many brown lipsticks, some intentionally such as this one, and some of the others just kind of coincidentally, I guess. If you would like me to make a separate video on different brown lipsticks with swatches, let me know because I would love to do that. And the final beauty item that I've liked is actually a hairstyling tool, and it is my Dyson Airwrap. I've had this for a few months now, but I think I've only really gotten obsessed with it in November, December. I like heat styling my hair more in the winter season when the humidity is lower because my hair holds a style better. This is the brush that I actually end up using the most, the volumizing brush. Sometimes I'll, do a blowout really quickly, but if I take a little extra time and do it more carefully with smaller sections, I get a better result. It is quite low on noise. It's incredibly comfortable to hold. It's so light, but at the same time really well built. And I love the way this looks, you know. I love my baby hair also, but it gives me this like natural straight look, and this absolutely lasts till the next time I wash my hair. Even if I'm lazy and wash it after like 4 days, my hair is gonna look good till then. When I style my hair naturally, it looks good on like the first day, second day. After that, it doesn't like look as good until I freshly wash it. I think that's just wavy and curly hair problems, but this one's just low maintenance. It just makes life easier. This is a hairstyling tool that is made with a consumer in mind. Unlike hairstylists, we are not always comfortable with holding a round brush, holding a heavy blow dryer, and like figuring that out. So this is something that you can get that salon style result, but it's quite easy and quite comfortable. I never made like a full long video on the hair wrap just because I figured that there's already a lot of content out there on this, and I'm not an expert when it comes to hair for sure, but I have made some short videos. If you're curious, I even talked about some pros and cons of the Dyson Airwrap in this video, so do check it out. I have to share a food item that I really loved, and it is Samyang Buldak hot chicken ramen noodles. I have had this slight obsession with this whole range. It is a range of Korean noodles, and I've made previous videos. I even made one video tasting all of the different hot chicken ramen noodles. Not all of them actually, but 9 of them. I'm gonna link it over there. Lately they released a couple new flavors, so I bought those and I tasted those as well. This is actually the rosé one, and it's just really yummy because compared to a lot of the other buldak noodles, which are tasty but like very spicy, this one's spicy but also creamy and well balanced. Now that I've tasted 11 of these different buldak noodles, this is absolutely my favorite one. So if you're not a fan of the extreme spice of some of the buldak noodles, then you'll definitely enjoy this one. I feel like this one is going to become the most popular one. The more people try this, everyone's going to fall in love with it. To quickly broach fashion, I just have one thing that I've been really obsessed with. This is not going to be a surprise to you guys because I've made videos on it, but they are Crocs. I got new Crocs, by the way. These are the classic Crush Crocs. And the first time I saw this, I thought it was possibly kind of ugly because it is even clunkier than other Crocs. I found it weird the way this heel extends. Having tried it, I love it because it's giving you height. It also gives you really good stability. Your foot position is almost flat on the inside. I think it's just like really cute. I know that the Crocs aesthetic is love it or hate it. I am definitely team love it. I've always been more about comfy shoes, and for me that used to mean sneakers, but now Crocs have replaced them as my comfy shoes because they're actually more suited to Indian weather. You can get them dirty without a thought. Unlike with sneakers, they're so easy to wash, they're easy to get in and out of, and I think they just have a lot of personality. The Crocs that I wear the most are my all-terrain ones. That's a unisex design, so it's pretty broad. In the beginning I hated it, but then I ended up loving it, and that's why I have such a large collection of Crocs. If you want to see all of my other Crocs, I made a separate video on the collection where I even talked through the comfort levels and all of that stuff, linking it over there. I'm not going to be getting over these anytime soon. I read someone say they feel like walking on a cloud. I think they kind of look like a cloud also. So this is my favorite colorway in Crocs right now. Almost every design of theirs is available in this color. It's called Bone. So I'm gonna put some gibbets in. The next thing I have are some kind of New Year themed goodies that I got from Pranita Kucharikar's art shop called the Pico Shop. So her art business used to just go under her name, but a few months ago she rebranded and now she has this really adorable shop, and I have loved everything that she's made for a really long time. Not only is her art style so beautiful, but the thought that goes into each and every item that she makes absolutely shows. I think she's a storyteller more than anything, and I really look forward to her calendars, her journals every year. I like that she's been doing dateless planners for a few years now, because I am that type of person who buys a planner, uses it for a month and then stops and feels really guilty about it because I have all these empty pages, and that's why I stopped buying planners. But this dateless planner takes the pressure out of things. If you take a break from using a planner, just start again. There's no issue, there's less waste, there's less of that weird guilt. She also sent me her calendars. She makes these calendars every year. I've had her desk calendar for 3 years now, her wall calendar 2nd year running, and this cat looks like Thelma. The whole theme of the appointment calendar is anti-hustle culture, and she talks about how animals are really great examples to look at for self-care because they naturally take care of themselves, and we have a lot to learn from them. So the calendar has a lot of these really cute wild and domestic animals. It's absolutely adorable. I know Ryder's going to like this one in particular. And her wall calendar features this brown dog, Chip, and it's his self-care calendar, so he's there on every single month. And this dog actually reminds me of the dog I befriended when I was in Goa, who is also this exact shade of brown, and she is my best friend. I love her. I actually made a lot of best friends in Goa. She also gave me a discount code if you guys would like to pick anything up from her store. Check out Biko Shop. Every year when I unbox this stuff, I scream because of how lovely it is. Collection would make the most thoughtful gift for anyone who likes cute stuff, who kind of likes organizing and they are trying to get their shit together. Next couple of things that I'm going to talk about are just like personal care products that everybody needs, and the first thing is mouthwash. It's this Listerine Total Care Mild Taste mouthwash with fluoride. Listerine's like my favorite brand of mouthwashes. I like using mouthwash, but I'm kind of particular about what I use, and I just find like a lot of the mouthwashes that are available already are very strong and they're just so pungent, and it kind of becomes a very unpleasant experience using them. I like my breath to be fresh, but I also use mouthwash for like germ killing purposes. That's why I do only buy mouthwashes with fluoride in them. That's quite important for dental health. I wanted something that would kill germs or whatever effectively. Mouthwash used to be this thing that I always purchase whenever I travel abroad because the variety there was way better, and I haven't traveled abroad in a really long time now. So I went online and I was so excited to see that the same one that I used to buy whenever I visited Thailand is available online. This is available in 2 different sizes. I got the big one because I know I love it, but there's also a smaller one available. If you also wanted similar things in mouthwashes and you also have like sensitive teeth and just don't like extreme mintiness that some of them have, then this is a fantastic mouthwash to check out. Next we're going to talk about this hand wash that I've been obsessed with for several months, that I've talked about in a few vlogs. It's Dettol, a foaming hand wash, the strawberry variant. Hand washes like these have always been a thing in Thailand and in Korea and Japan. Push the pump and you already get out a ready-made foam. So I was firstly excited to see that we have foaming hand wash in India now, and it's Dettol and it's affordable. The strawberry just smells unexpectedly wonderful. I'm very particular when it comes to fragrances and I don't like very artificial smelling ones, but this one just smells lovely. It smells very close to the Body Shop's strawberry range. I love the shower gel from that range, and I've used up the body butter also. Body Shop is a more expensive brand. The fact that Dettol is managing to recreate that effect with this hand wash is mind-blowing. I have bought 4 of these and I've replaced every hand wash in the house with them. When the hand washes got over, of course, I did not waste anything, but when it was time to get a new one, I put this one in. You can also get a refill. That just makes it even more affordable, kinder to the environment. You can't use this in any existing bottle. It needs to be a foaming bottle or the foam won't work. Does this clean your hands more efficiently than any other hand wash would? I don't think so. But is it going to make you feel like happy and delighted every time you use it? That is for sure. That's it for all of the actual tangible physical things that I had to share with you guys. Now I want to talk about television because I watch too much of television and I need to share these with you all. I think I have 4 shows to talk about today. The first one is called The Bear, and it's kind of gritty and slightly dramatic show about a chef who leaves his fancy chef job and he goes to work in his family sandwich shop. It was just really interesting to see the inside of a professional kitchen. So I think I got really obsessed with that, and after I finished watching, I cooked with renewed vigor for I think 2 months straight. I do enjoy cooking a lot, but watching The Bear just inspired me to cook even more. I loved it. My biggest criticism of The Bear is that the first season just felt so short. Just when it was actually getting interesting, it finished, and I cannot wait till season 2 arrives. It is really good. It's been a few months since I watched it, so I feel ready to rewatch it also. The second show that I have to talk about, it's a documentary sports show. Both of those things are usually very uninteresting to me. I do not follow any sports. It's called Welcome to Wrexham. It's a documentary show with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. So you guys know who Ryan Reynolds is. He's the Deadpool guy. You may not know Rob McElhenney, but he is the co-creator of one of my favorite comedy shows ever, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he also co-created an accent Mythic Quest. These guys during the pandemic got together, and this is not like the plot of a show, this is actual real life, and they bought a football club that was financially struggling in Wales, which most people think is a part of England, but it is a part of United Kingdom, but it's also a separate country. It is a very, very wholesome show, so if you enjoyed Ted Lasso, it's like that, but real. They are trying their best to get this once great club back on its feet. If you like sports, you're gonna enjoy this one for sure, but if like me you don't like sports, there's a good chance you're still going to enjoy it. Entertaining, wholesome, uplifting, something that might make you like happy, cry a couple of times. The third show that I have to talk about is White Lotus, and I am specifically going to be talking about the second season. If you have not watched it, I will not be giving you guys any spoilers, so don't worry. The first season of White Lotus was one of my favorite TV shows of 2021. Basically this satire about rich people, but it's not a heavy-handed satire. The White Lotus is actually an anthology show. You don't have to have seen the first season to watch the second one. It kind of tells a whole different story. Most of the characters are also different, although I would recommend watching the first season because it's really great. The second season's whole theme for the show is sex. Definitely not safe for work, but it is cleverly done. I have enjoyed obsessing over all of the different characters and their motivations. My fourth and final TV show recommendation has got to be Everybody Loves Raymond. It just came out on Prime Video in India. It's a 90s sitcom that many of us grew up with. I actually didn't watch it that much during its original run. I'm kind of conflicted about putting it in a favorites video because the family dynamic is strange and dated and weird. I think that we've come a long way from the 90s, and good to binge watch during dinner time, something you can watch around family, and something you can kind of turn your mind off and just enjoy. Those were all of the things that I've been obsessing over lately. If you've been really into something recently, it can be just about anything. Don't just keep it to yourself, share it with the class, leave a comment down below so we all have something great to check out. I really do trust word of mouth recommendations. Friends and just strangers on the internet have gotten me into fun things that I wouldn't have otherwise found easily. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.